Sorry, got the wrong thing. Welcome back to Light Talk, where the guests can be themselves and tell their own unique experiences of the metaphysical world. If you have your own unique stories, I would love to talk with you. Please email lighttalk423@gmail.com. And while you're at it, click on that like, share, and subscribe buttons below. Now let's get going for our guest today, part 2. Here she's returned. So go ahead and tell us a little about yourself and then start your unique stories.
Yes, well, my name is Mary Gartman. I'm the leader and founder of Southern Comfort Paranormal. And I am also the South Carolina representative for our paranormal world.
All right. Woo, that's so exciting. Oh, yeah, that's got to be so exciting. And you have lots of stories from your investigations, huh?
Yes, I've been on quite a few investigations. I got cut short. I wasn't able to investigate for a while because my last investigation I attempted to do, I end up hitting a deer and totaling my car.
Well, that's
So,
not very good.
yeah, so I got to get a whole new engine and everything before I can get back on the road with the investigations and continue my investigations.
Wow. So, what kind of things have you come across during your investigations?
Well, I've been to Crybaby Bridge. I've investigated the multiple deaths that's happened on the bridge. I've made contact with the people who lost their life on the bridge. Um, which is very unique because that's the first investigation I did that I used the dead bell with.
Which
And
is what? Explain that.
well, why don't I show it to you? I actually
Oh,
have
okay.
I have my little backpack with all my little tools and everything.
Oh, how fun.
A little backpack looks like I'm going on a mountain climb or something. Mountain hike. Let's see. I got so much stuff in here. Here it is. Well, I got it wrapped in bubble wrap for safety purposes.
Of course, of
But
course.
this is the dead bell. And anytime a spirit wants to communicate, which I usually do, yes or no questions. And yes is the ding, and no is basically no ding. But or they could do 2 dings. But really, when the spirit interacts with this, basically it'll ding on its own,
Mm-hmm.
just like that. And during the investigation I did, it just constantly.
Nice. So a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Um,
cool.
I also have a RAM pod. I have a camcorder. I have a thermal camera, which when I do my investigations, with the Bigfoot sightings, and I think it's Huntington Island, I plan on using this, and this is a really good camera. I bought a lot of my equipment off of Ghost Stop, which is like one of my favorite shopping apps for all my equipment. But this is the thermal camera. As you can see, I can turn it on so y'all can get a little glimpse. It's called the Fleur. And it's a really neat. It's got a little screen right there and a couple buttons you can operate. On the other side, it's got all these cool little gadgets, all these little camera lenses. And basically, that's kind of like what it looks like. And it tells you
So,
the core temperature at the top. with the little dot right here. Whatever it's pointing to, the temperature will read up here at the top.
How awesome. How awesome. So it just sees where the spirit is, and it shows the temperature of the spirit
Yeah,
and what is okay.
wherever there's like it'll read the temperature reading of like any little spot. If there's a cold spot where a spirit is, it'll show it.
And does it show like the picture? Because I've seen some that looks like little stick figures. Does that kind of
That's a
show something like that?
SLS. That's an SLS. I have an SLS camera on my phone. Um, I don't have an actual SLS. I have one on my phone instead. I use a lot of GhostTube. GhostTube has their own app with the SLS that I do use. I do record a lot of my investigations with my other phone. Just so I can use this phone for a lot of my GhostTube, the SLS, and I think it's called Necrophonics or something like that. It's an app that allows the spirit to speak through.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
um what you would call an envoy. This is my little envoy. You can turn it on. It's got that cool little stuff. Here you can see the alphabet. The
Right.
spirit will pick out letters to spell out at the bottom that's blinking.
Okay.
It'll do temperature readings, it does sensor and all that. But if you turn the knob enough, you can ask yes or no questions.
Oh, cool.
And there's another little notch that you can turn it to. It'll give you numbers. Like if you ask how many of you are here, it can point to a number
And
and
then
give you
it'll
a
just
number.
flash on that number or letter. It'll just flash on it.
Mhm. Yep, it
Okay.
basically freezes on it.
Okay.
And you can basically ask what mood it's in. It'll give you a little smiley face,
Oh,
frowny
cute.
face. And then it gives you your temp readings and all that as well.
Very awesome. That's a neat little tool there.
Very expensive little tool.
Okay. Probably why I
Not
don't
gonna
have
lie
any
to you.
yet.
That was a tax time purchase. I'm not gonna lie to you. My
Yeah.
old man was kind of like, "Why is all this stuff from Ghost Stop arriving at the house?" And I'm like, "Don't ask." I have my Phasm camera. I have my chargers. I have a I have a watch that is also a voice recorder. You know, I can record, talk into it, ask questions, stop it, play back, and see if I get anything.
Very cool.
And I also have a REM pod.
You got it all set up there.
Yes, I do.
Did your
I'm
mom?
not done.
Oh, okay.
I do. Like next tax time, I do plan on getting a Boo Bear, which is
Oh, okay. I've
it's
heard of those.
creepy but awesome at the same time. And I want one. I do plan on getting an Ovulus 5 as well. And what is it? I think it's a Flux 2. Plan on getting that as well. But with the REM pod, you can turn it on, it lights up. Anytime anything goes near it, like a spirit, it can just it don't even have to touch it.
And
for it to go off.
that's just feeling the energy from it, isn't it? Like the electron
Hmm.
or the electrical side of the spirit. Is that exactly
Yeah,
what that's kind of?
basically, the electromagnetic waves, from a spirit, and if it you touch it, it goes crazy.
Okay. All right. That's
But
cool.
I've been to Crybaby Bridge. I've been I've investigated a friend's house. That was I made contact with a family member who had passed away because they had activity going on in their house for quite some time. And this it happened in the room that was the deceased family member's room. And it would stay cold in there, and the family member's picture would fall over by itself. No other picture on the table would fall over, just the deceased family member's photo.
Hmm.
And when I went there and did an investigation, I'm asking all kinds of questions, and I usually ask like, what is your name, more than once, just to make sure I get the same response. So I know I'm talking to an intelligent spirit and not just a residual haunting.
Okay.
And I got Pete twice. I asked twice and got Pete twice. And turns out after the investigation, because the family kind of like withheld the information of their family member's name, afterwards, I found out that Pete was the name of the relative that had passed away.
Very cool.
And my friend, my boyfriend, and a couple other people were in the room upstairs with me and in the spirit's room. And when Pete came through twice, everybody ran out the room, down the stairs, and out the house. I was in the room by myself.
So it scared everybody else.
Yeah, I'm tough. I can pretty much handle it. I don't scare easily. But yeah, everybody pretty much ran out the house and left me by myself. I'm like, okay, better for me, I guess. I get more peace and quiet. And I'm sitting there recording. I have my EMF tester and my recorder, my spirit box on the bed. And I'm asking the spirit questions about what happened to them. Is there a message that, you know, they would like to convey and everything? And on camera, I get an orb shoot at me in my direction.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, and I didn't realize it until after I had played back through and went through all my visual evidence. I do know that it felt cold, especially like something kind of like rushed at me. I couldn't tell what it was, but playback, and sure enough, it was an orb, and well, a light anomaly. And it was so cool. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually got that on camera.
It's really cool. I got a picture of my past dog, I believe, on video. It's probably about a minute long that she was just floating around in my backyard watching my new dog. So I think it was some educational time going on that she was telling my new dog, okay, this is what happens here. This is where you need to go. Or, you know,
But the video,
Oh.
I do have it up on my team page on Facebook. If anybody would like to take a look at it. I try to post links to my investigations, which the investigation to Crybaby Bridge, that was live on Twitter, but I shared the link of it to my team Facebook page. And I do know, towards the end of my investigation at the friend's house, my old man runs back up the stairs, tries to turn off my equipment and drag me out of the room because I wasn't leaving willingly, of course. But he's talking about we're leaving now. And I'm like, I'm not done, you know. And then on the spirit box, it says, no, wait, take an sad, like it didn't want me to leave.
Right.
Um, it sensed what was going on and wasn't happy. And like I told him, I was like, see, even the spirit doesn't want me to leave. Just go back downstairs at the house. I got this. Well, I take a brief break and I go outside and join everybody. And everybody was like, well, I dare you to go upstairs and go in that closet by yourself. And I'm like, okay, bet.
Bring it
I
on.
marched my little self right up the stairs. I go in the closet, didn't feel anything. I even did the EMF tester. I didn't get any readings in the closet. And it was just in the room and the room across the hallway where a lot of the EMF readings were that I was getting. But after I investigated there, because I asked a question, I was like, are you a family member? And he was like, yes. I was like, are you watching over and protecting the family? And they was like, yes. And after the investigation, after I relayed the message to the family members living in the house, they had no more activity.
And that's probably because he's gotten the message to them. Now he can relax and say, okay, they know I'm here. They know I'm here to protect them. And I
Pretty
don't
much.
need to let them know now because now they know.
And that felt pretty good to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a kind of like a spur of the moment investigation. Um, we was sitting around the bonfire and someone came up and was like, hey, would you please investigate our house? We're having activity. And I'm like, sure. I got my equipment kept in the car. Let's go.
I'm always prepared.
Always prepared for anything.
Yeah.
I
How
don't go
cool.
anywhere without my investigation bag.
Yeah. Don't leave home without it.
Never. You never know when you're going to have to conduct an investigation.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I had a spirit in my back seat in my car. I felt it now that I'm looking back. I did feel something different in the car. And the other day, I had somebody coming through with it's hard to explain, but we had a conversation, and I told him, I go, it's okay to go to the light, find the light, and you can go to it. And the last couple of days, I haven't felt that weirdness in my car, so I think he passed over. So that I'm
That's
like, I did it.
See, we all have a little investigator inside of us all, you know?
Yeah, it was like that was my first time too with anything like that. So it was really nice because I didn't have that weird, odd feel in my car since
I
that
think
happened. It was
it's a great thing to do when you can not only help the living get closure, but help the deceased get closure as well. Because, they were once people too, and everybody always has unfinished business. We just
Yeah.
don't know what their unfinished business is. But it's a great feel to be able to help them
Yeah.
finally get that closure.
Yeah. And it's nice because they're happy. I mean, they're in their realm now, in the happy space. They're home.
Absolutely. I mean, they're at peace,
Yeah.
and that's all I could hope for a spirit.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It would be like having a bad day over and over and over for them. It's
And
like
I
this up.
think a lot of them, like ones that have a very traumatic death, I feel like they possibly relive their death over and over again, like if it's that traumatic. And I can only imagine how awful that is.
Right. It'd be like the
But
movie Groundhog Day. Oh, yeah,
pretty
that'd be horrible.
much.
Until you find somebody open enough to help you continue to pass over. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I started the team with the mindset that I wanted to do good. I wanted to help people living or passed over. And I want to help both sides get closure for anything that they may need closure on so that the deceased can cross over and be at peace for the
Right.
rest of eternity.
Right. Yeah, and that's awesome. I'm glad you're doing that. And it feels good. It feels
It
good.
does.
I'm still trying to wrap this around my head, what's happened with me, but it feels good. Knowing that he's in a great spot right now and I helped him find the light, you know. It
Yeah,
does
I
feel really
went to
nice.
the night I got into my car accident. Um, I had went to Dust to Dust Cemetery in Swansea, and we get there a few minutes before the groundskeeper showed up to kick us out. A voice comes through on my spirit box and says, "Get out." Because before that, I had female voices come through talking about, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hi," just so friendly, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hi," but then a deep male guttural voice just comes through and is like, "Get out," and this was like 2-3 minutes before the groundskeeper showed up and was like, "Yeah, no, you can't do that here. You got to come back during the daytime. You got to leave." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, I don't know why they told us to get out because we already got kicked out." We already basically got kicked out by the spirit, so
He was just giving you a forewarning that they're coming to boot you out.
yeah, yeah, I get that now. But yeah, and
Yeah.
then we leave there to go to the cemetery that's haunted in Utahville, and on the way there, not long after we left Swansea, um, I hit a deer.
Oh.
It came out in front of me out of nowhere and just busted my radiator, my fan assembly, my condenser, all that fun stuff. And
Ugh.
now, soon as I get it fixed, my head gasket blows. I got to replace the whole engine now, so that's fun.
Oh, gee.
It's the whole reason I haven't been on an investigation in a good minute. Car trouble.
Well, maybe it's telling you something. You're
Yeah, my
waiting for the
coworkers.
yeah, you're waiting for the great next story to investigate.
My
Gotta wait
coworkers
for.
are picking with me. They're like, "Well, I guess the spirits are trying to tell you something. You don't need to be messing with them. You need to stay home." And I'm like, "That's okay. The next investigation, I just won't take my car. I'll take somebody else's."
No, there you go.
But actually, I thought about doing a little mini investigation in my backyard because we just cut all the woods. Well, not all of the woods, but some of the woods that's behind my house down. And I was told by the landlord that there's an old slave, or used to be an old slave cemetery back there.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm like, "Oh, yay, in my yard. Awesome. Let's go."
Time to
I
move
could just
on.
walk I could just walk out my back door and do my little investigation. That'll tie me over till I can get my car fixed.
There you go. Keep it going that way. Of course.
Absolutely.
Do some
And
walking ones.
pretty much
Nearby.
gotta
Yeah.
walk down the road, do some abandoned houses and some
Right.
friends' houses.
There
Like,
you
let
go.
me investigate your house for a little bit. I need to stay in the game.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. I'm trying to get myself set up to go on some sort of um, ghost hunt or something.
Yeah, I actually started doing investigations last year. Um, so I haven't been doing investigations long, but I have um been doing investigations, but just it hasn't been that long since I just that long formed a team and started doing my own little investigations. Been trying to wait for the right time. And pretty much the places that we're thinking about investigating is the USS Yorktown, where ghost hunters have actually investigated in
Oh, nice.
Charleston, which is 2 hours from me. And but that's a tax time investigation because that's over $700 and up to
Oh,
investigate. So yeah, tax time investigation. And
yeah.
there's more places here in South Carolina, like Old State Road, where the trucker parked down the road to get some sleep and woke up and saw these soldiers dressed in Civil War uniform. He said he thought he was in a scene of The Walking Dead.
Oh, my.
And when they
Wow.
started to notice him looking at him, they started hitting the side of the 18-wheeler and left handprints all over the side of the 18-wheeler and everything. And I'm
Really?
like, I don't like zombies. I don't watch zombie movies. I don't like zombies. They give me nightmares. But I may just have to get in a tank just to go investigate that road,
Yeah.
just so I don't come across no zombie spirits.
So
I don't want.
what's the difference between like a zombie spirit and something else? Is there a difference?
Ooh, not really. They just like normal spirits. Like it just depends on how they show themselves to you.
Okay.
Um, for me, like I call them zombie spirits because they look like how they would be after like months after they died.
Okay. So it's their after death look versus their Their happy time in
before. Yeah,
life.
pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie. I told my mom because my mom is on Southern Comfort Paranormal with me. She's my co-investigator, and I told her, I said, now if we come across some zombie spirits, I don't have to run fast. I just have to run faster than you.
That's right.
Mary is not gonna get eaten today. Nope. But
Yeah, isn't it funny that because I've never liked scary movies either,
well, I
but
love
and
scary
look what we
movies.
are.
I love scary movies. I just hate zombie movies. I hate zombies in general. Like my mom growing up, she's always been fascinated and obsessed with zombies. And I've always been like, oh my God, I got to get out of the house until she quits watching it. Like,
Uh, yeah, and
I
I'm
hate it.
really, I've never liked the scary movies. I still don't like scary movies, but yet
Yeah,
listening
I
to all these
love
stories
scary
is just
movies.
so intriguing to me. It's so
I love scary
it's
movies. I
amazing.
just hate zombie movies. It just something I can't stomach.
So you don't like the movie Thriller of Michael Jackson, huh?
Well, I like the song, but
Okay.
I won't. I'll watch a little bit of The Walking Dead just cause they're a little slow and everything. But like Night of the Living Dead and all that, I just refuse to watch.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And I refuse to watch the movies with the flesh eating
Oh,
virus because I can't stomach it.
right, right.
Not since I had my son, I cannot stomach that movie.
I can understand. I can understand. Well,
But
this 30 minutes went so fast. Oh my
absolutely.
goodness. Oh my goodness. It's Zoom gone. I know. But yeah. So thank you again for being on the show. It's been a joy to have you. And we
It's a
might have to
pleasure
go
being
into a
here.
third because you've got some more stuff going on here that,
Plenty. I
yeah,
got so much to talk about.
yeah.
Not enough time.
No, I know. I could talk forever on this stuff. We'll have to try and get your mom on the show if she would be up and willing for that.
Absolutely. I'll be talking to her about it.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And that goes for anybody out there in the audience. If you have a story you would like to tell or know of someone that would like to tell their story, feel absolutely free to get in touch with me at lighttalk423@gmail.com. And again, don't forget those buttons down below, those like, share, and subscribe buttons. So
Smash that
until,
like button.
yeah, that like button, push them all. And enjoy. I mean, contact us and we'll chat with you and we'll see you again. And we'll see everybody else next week. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.